Hello everybody, I'm neuralsyn and welcome back to another episode where we're taking a look at the auto-crafting dropper functionality as part of Nembomb's carpet mod. In the previous episode, we went ahead and took a look at a different type of pulse generator where there are two observers facing one another, which allows us to generate a pulse and a crafting recipe that follows this checkerboard design, and we ultimately used that to generate a TNT auto-crafter. Keeping with the theme of pulse-based design, today we're going to be taking a look at an observer auto-crafter. Now the reason we're going to take a look at yet another pulse-based design is so that we can really drive home this point that you can assemble auto-crafting contraptions based off of these simple components over here. And once you start getting the hang of it, you'll see that a lot of these same patterns re-emerge and the crafting recipes really are enough to where you can borrow parts from previous designs that you may have had. So let's take a look at the observer crafting recipe. At the top we have 3 cobblestone, followed by 2 redstone, a piece of quartz, and then 3 cobblestone at the bottom. So immediately we can recognize that we need a pulse of 3. And so for that we're going to use our standard 3 pulse generator that we've been using throughout this series. And in this case we're going to have the auto crafting dropper point down, and that'll become clear why we're doing that in a little bit. So that'll give us our top row of cobblestone. So now we need to generate 2 redstone. So the easiest way for us to do that is to just take a signal off of the 3 pulse generator here and go ahead and add a little bit of delay like we've done before. And in this case, we're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4 ticks of delay. And that's going to power a dual pulse generator, the same kind that we've used before. So we'll have an observer pointed into the line, followed by 2 droppers. We'll have an observer facing down so that it can observe that pulse when it fires, and then one facing up. And it's just that simple. And then the next thing we need to do is add in our quartz. This was the redstone. And the quartz is simple because we only need to push that down one spot, and so what we can do is use a fairly simple design where we are taking the pulse out of that powered rail there and just carrying it over a little bit more to where this observer picks it up, powers this block, which then powers this dropper and pushes the piece of quartz into the auto crafting dropper. Now lastly, we need the bottom row. So we're going to actually use a modified version of the 3 pulse generator that we used for the top row. To do that, we're going to bring an observer there, followed by a note block so that we can easily go down, followed by another note block, followed by an observer, and a redstone lamp we're going to observe. And this block actually we're going to change to an observer. So what's going to happen here is after the 2 redstone pulses fire, we'll get 1 more pulse from this observer here. It helps if I actually add in the droppers, so let's go ahead and do that. I want to take a signal from that note block, and that is going to be cobblestone. So after the 2 redstone and the quartz populate the auto crafting dropper, we're going to have 1 signal generate from this observer here, which, as we know, will power this dropper, causing the cobblestone inside of it to skip this dropper and go right into our auto crafting dropper. So that'll give us the first slot. This observer here is going to observe the same change in the powered rail state and go down the line, which will ultimately trigger this observer, giving us our second pulse. And I've gone one too far. What we really want is the lamp there so that we can get our third pulse, because when it goes off, this observer will pick that up and give us 3 pulses. Now the last thing we want to do is power the actual crafting table. That way we can craft the observer. And so for that, we're going to just add a repeater here with a little bit of delay. Make sure that we have everything full. Go ahead and trigger this. And as you can see, out pops an observer. Just that simple. So you can see that all we've done here is piece together some various pulse generators from the second episode, which I'll link again above, so that we can generate an observer autocrafter. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. Thanks for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and leave me some comments down below for future autocrafters that you would like to see. Bye!